About a month ago, I posted a video with my Trash Panda used disc swap box that somebody sent me, which included a bunch of mystery discs, including this one, the Meridian Discs Current. Beauty. Oh, that disc is pretty sweet. At 7.5-11, I was actually very impressed with it. It's a little domey, pretty stiff, but flew very nice, kind of like a disc that I actually have in this bag, the FD. I don't know if it's a perfect comparison because I've only thrown this disc once, but in that video, I told Meridian Discs that if they were watching, and someone from Meridian was, or someone reached out to them, I would definitely love to shoot a video because this disc was very impressive. Meridian is started by Josh Hofstra, who used to work for Lone Star Disc. Now he doesn't, he owns Meridian, I think with somebody else, and they also sent out a bunch of beef jerky. Big Country Beef Jerky, I think they also own this, or maybe Josh does, or maybe his partner, but these are some of the coolest looking discs that I have reviewed in a while. They sent me a couple currents in this beautiful little, it looks like Discraft's Jawbreaker Z Flex, but it is not flexy, which is actually pretty nice. They feel very good. They sent me this current as well. They sent me two discs called the Ravine, which is 5502, and I'm pretty intrigued about what this will fly like. If you look at the profile here, it's kind of beadless, and it looks like it's kind of going to be like MD4-ish, but I brought out an MD4 and another disc to compare called the Guava from Clash Discs. They have the Meridian Discs Straight, which kind of looks like a rock. They call this 55-11. This isn't a gummy or plastic, it's just a regular see-through one, and it actually, I mean, it's 32 degrees out right now. It feels very good. The Chasm at 11.5-13, they sent me two of these bad boys. Ring in the middle here. I'm not sure exactly what part of the injection molding process would make that, like, it's like clear and then a little blurry and then clear again, but this almost feels more like a 12 speed. It's a little domey, very comfortable. And they sent me the Tundra in one of the coolest plastics ever. Look at this thing. Oh, get the sun on it. This is very P2-esque. Oh, look at this. Oh, that is sweet. So I brought out a bag full of discs that I think will compare to these. Shout out Josh, and I just looked, the other guy is Peyton. When we set this all up, they actually sent me some information about each of the discs, and I'll relay that to you as I'm gonna throw them. But we're gonna play 9 holes here at North Midway Park. We're just gonna play straight up the front 9, because I think there's gonna be enough variety. I brought out what I think would be the most similar disc to each of these that I own, that I'll throw against them when I throw them for the first time. I'm gonna play some pretty strict OBs, or in this case on hole 1 hazard, because we need to land right in that little strip. And if I can't shoot 3 down or better with these guys, with my first disc off the tee, off the top on hole 1, because I like to cheat a little bit, then for every stroke worse than that, I'll put one of these discs in my 50K subscriber giveaway. And you know what? So we can spread some Meridian love out there. No matter what, I'll put one of the discs in there. We're gonna throw the Tundra first, hole 1, 280 feet, I believe. Nice turnover. We'll see how stable this guy actually is. Oh, pretty overstable. Wow. Oh, I actually really liked how I threw that. The disc that I brought out that might be similar to that is this Island Alpaca. They actually look nearly identical. I'll show you that here. They're both pretty much based off of P2, and we'll probably have similar flights. That Tundra might be a little more overstable though. Nope, I forgot how overstable the P2/Tundra was. That is so much better for the other basket. Okay, good thing I'm playing 2 off the top. I'm throwing this straight, which they said was kind of Casey Pro Rock feel, but the flight was more like a Mako 3. So I've actually brought out 2 discs, the MD1 from Discmania and the Texas Ranger from Lone Star, which has the same numbers and is also a little beaded. I brought these out because I don't own a single rock, not even pet rocks. So we'll throw this straight. If it's Mako 3-like, I think the exact same shot that I just threw with both those discs will be perfect. Oh, get through the tree. Well, it's in the tree. Nice. See how it forehands. Oh, smooth. This thing got overstable real quick. Make this putt to not start out with a bogey. I might have started out with a double. That might not be touching anything in bounds. Come on, dude. Look at this. It's OB again. Oh no. 3 shots, 2 OB strokes. Means I'm 2 over through 1. No fault of these discs. They flew great. Hole 2 is going to that basket down there. 396 feet. So I think the current would honestly be great because it's a little bit of a slight downhill shot, and the current I think would have perfect amount of glide. Could also be the chasm. And surprisingly, in the message to me, they said that the chasm was actually kind of like a beefy, like halo wraith, like an overstable wraith. It doesn't feel that crazy overstable, but I can definitely see that because of how concave the rim is on the underside. And they said that this clear one was actually more overstable than the pinky. So I could just try to throw this on a little flex. I think the current is the safe shot. I do need some birdies though, so we'll throw a little pinky here. And the discs that I brought out to compare it with are a C-Line FD, because they actually mentioned, I forgot they mentioned this, but they said C-Line FD or FD1 would be a good comparison. And it does look relatively similar. This actually looks a little faster potentially, and it has an interestingly unique wing shape, a little dimple right there. And I also brought out the Infinite Disc Centurion, which now looking at them I think is going to be a little more understable. But 7.5 -1.1, that's 7.601, and this one they call 7.5 -1.2. So we'll throw those and see which is the most comparable. Hey, last time I was at this hole, the trash people were here too. I don't think it's as understable as a -1.1 disc typically is. No, it is not. Wow, that is really like a C-Line FD. This C-Line plastic is a little gummier though. I wonder if these like little swirls that they put in it make it a little stiffer, because this is significantly stiffer than their just straight up see-through plastic. And the C-Line is kind of in between the two of those. Yeah, I threw that one more inside. I get progressively more and more scared of the garbage people. Good shot though. And that one is definitely, I mean, that's so similar. And frankly, the freaking current looks way cooler. I'll throw the Centurion as well. That's gonna be more typical -1.1 disc. Flip up out of the hand and get a lot of ride. And that one was the farthest flying so far. Oh, so that blue one that I got in the box, maybe it was it was the used disc stop. That one was the flippiest out of all of them, which would make sense. The used discs are used, new discs are not. The more you know. In some unfortunate news, you guys might remember my Is This the Best Small Manufacturer series that I was making at my favorite local course, Owl's Den. And they took out the front nine because someone stole 2 baskets. And you guys are gonna see a video coming up later this week called They Destroyed My Home Course. Because they're like building something through it, maybe it's a road, I don't really know. But they are absolutely destroyed Owl's Den. No more of that series probably. But I do think this is probably a better representation for the manufacturers anyways. I'm not like fully sure of that, but pretty disappointing. Birdie baby! Hole 3. Basket is behind that tree, slightly to the left. OB left and right, of course. This time we're gonna be throwing the chasm and seeing how it compares to the Wraith and the Grace. I really like the topographical vibe in this logo here. Kind of looks like a topographical map. Oh, it's only this one. This one's normal. The name scheme, I like a lot about this company, I'll be honest. I don't know who does their manufacturing, but we'll try to throw a little flex with this guy and put it close. Whew. Dude, that might be touching the pin. Holy cow. I was gonna say it doesn't seem like an overstable Wraith to me. Like it does seem like an overstable one, but not like the beefiest one ever. Like the Garrick Earthy Halos are like crazy overstable. This seems to be between that and a Star Wraith. Here's a Star Wraith. You could throw it slight hyzer to flat and it'll get a similar flight. So definitely different. The Wraith does go farther. Go in. Oh, the Wraith definitely goes farther, and so I can see where that comes in with the overstability. But I pumped that on a decent amount of anhyzer, kind of trusting what Josh and Peyton said, and I mean, it fought out of it. This one's supposedly a little more overstable, so I'll try to really crank on it left to right and see how it fights. Yeah, that's a beefy boy. That's a beefy boy. Wow. That's also right down there. I really like that speed, because that feels like a true 11 speed. Sometimes the Wraith and Grace, they go so far that they almost feel like they're encroaching on like a 12 or 13 speed territory. Here's the Grace. Again, slight hyzer out of the hand to get a similar flight, so definitely not quite as comparable as I thought they'd be based on the flight numbers, but really sick discs. Anytime that a company has a naming structure that I really like, I'm already a little predisposed towards them, but the flights of these discs have been very, very good so far. I mean, even the Tundra, which was more overstable than I expected. Well, that disc also just looks so cool. I don't know, I'm very impressed right now. I'm very impressed. Here's the Grace. The Wraith is wholly crushed. Jeez. This hole's 380 feet, I believe. That's like 440 feet smooth into a headwind. Holy cow. And then both of these are just pizzarked. The clear one's a little more overstable, but not significantly. They're within the same range. I would say if the flight numbers were 11.5, negative 0.53, they're pretty much right on. I'm gonna be honest, I might have to do a Wraith versus Grace video, maybe find a couple other ones in this category. I think this Star Wraith might be better than the Grace. That's like slander on this channel based on my feelings 2 years ago, but holy cow, that thing is nice. All right, hole 4, 426 par 4 to the red, not the blue, but the one past it. So I think we could try. Honestly, I'd probably throw the Current on that line because it'd be a little more flip up than these chasms. But we could also throw a forehand down the middle. Good news is we will have some mid holes coming up for the next couple holes, because we still have one that we haven't even looked at yet, which looks like one of the most interesting discs. It looks really good. That being said, we're throwing pinky and gonna try to eagle it. Oh, it's so not understable. It's just straight. I almost aced the blue basket, but I'm gonna have an easy pitch up for birdie. Wow, that is not understable. Those are some pretty bad, ugly throws too, but very interesting. We'll try the chasm as well. Okay, yeah, there's that negative 0.5. Nice. I was surprised by that chasm flip up on that line, which is nice. It is like an overstable Wraith, but not overstable. Like kind of overstable, I think. But the Current is way more overstable than the numbers suggest. That really is more like a 0.1, 0.2 disc. It holds the line well, but I thought it'd push on the hyzer, but it actually bit a little bit. I will say, for this hitting up there, still with some speed, it had the potential to get all the way down there. Wow, that is overstable. This looks so cool. I don't know how they make this, but it looks so sick. There's a coyote right there, just chilling. Huh, that's kind of crazy. Look at that thing. I hope I can zoom in well enough. That's so cool. 11 o'clock on a Monday. Interesting. I'd like to welcome you back to the sketchiest tee pad in all of Denver. We're going to hole 5, which is past that blue basket. 351 feet, so a decent pump, and we're gonna be throwing this ravine. We're now going into a little tailwind. First off, these plastics just look so cool, but they're honestly, they feel like dead flat. Almost concave because of how flat they are, but they do seem to just be flat. I do have the MD4 here and the Guava. The Guava is the exact same numbers, 5502, but it looks very different. Much rounder, much more traditional mid-range. This mid-range you don't expect to be as overstable as it is, but it's glidey and overstable. This one I expect to be pretty overstable, but not super glidey. So here's the MD4, which is definitely a little blockier. Kind of seems to be in between the MD4 and the Guava in stability, maybe, but I guess we'll find out. 351 is definitely a pump. All right, I shouldn't die, that's good. And with this tailwind, I think I'll have to throw a little anhyzer at it. Oh, you gotta throw it on anhyzer, buddy. Oh no. That's gonna be OB. Oh no. It did fly a little glidier than I expected. I was a little afraid of this tee pad throwing anhyzer. I think that's probably got in my head a bit, so gotta trust it. Stay behind the berries. That's better. Yeah, wow, that's nice. Should have done that the first time. That's gonna be in the circle. Here's the MD4. I think it'll be similar to that, but it'll bite faster. Maybe not. Very similar. I just don't think it goes as far. Shanked it though. Dang it. Okay, Guava might be straighter. Yeah, Guava's straighter. Okay, so I'd say the ravine is between the Guava and the MD4. Okay, this Guava, I didn't even feel like I threw it harder. It is definitely the farthest out of all of these. The MD4 is surprisingly close. They're like kind of close on top of each other. They might be very similar. The ravine, honestly, to me feels more comfortable. It's like a Buzz OS SS, kind of. Understable Buzz OS, which would be a stable Buzz. So pretty right on. This would be a great par putt though. 5 holes. If I miss this putt and go back to even, I need it to be 3 out of the last 4. Oh gosh. I gotta work on my stepper as long as I don't cancel that rule. Start to get shanky after 40 feet. Hole 6, we figured out the last time, or 2 times ago that I played here, that it is actually 410 feet, even though it says 330 to the red, right in between those trees. I also really want to throw this straight again. We're gonna throw this not quite as overstable chasm. Yeah, it's definitely straighter than like a really overstable wraith. Just doesn't go quite very far. That was kind of surprising. It's a good shot. Should be maybe inside the circle short. Yeah, you just get calling this 375. Definitely not as glidey as the other 11 speeds that I have in here, but it is consistent. No, get it up. Oh, dang it. Hole 7 is 279 feet, which is gonna be great to kind of test out this straight. It's a very appropriate name, you know. The straight's supposed to go straight. We'll be comparing it to the MD1 and the Texas Ranger. I showed you the Texas Ranger already, but these look very different. Although I think they'll fly more similar than the Texas Ranger and the straight. It feels comfy in your hands. Drop in there, baby. Oh, juiced it. Uh-oh. Easy flyer. Just went a little too far. MD1. Maybe the MD1 has a little more turn, actually. Okay, the straight might... That was thrown slower, too. Those are pretty similar. Here's a Texas Ranger. It's in Bravo, which is typically a little more overstable plastic. Okay. I think I just threw the straight better, maybe, but those were a little more understable. I think those are all pretty similar flights, to be honest with you. Now, just because I want to see it fly again. Here's the Tundra. Yeah. A lot of these discs don't seem to have crazy glide DNA, but the shapes are good, which is kind of ironic because the Ravine seems to glide better than some of the other ones, even though it's super flat. No! Come on. All right, important putt. That drop scared me. So I think we got some pretty good comparisons so far for most, if not all of these discs, and they were a little surprising in a lot of ways. I think the plastic is super cool, and I think what's easily becoming my favorite is the Ravine. Kind of surprised me. It's just a very shallow, comfortable mid that's not super overstable and glides a little without being overly glidey. Some of the other ones I feel like less glidey than I expect. And I imagine, honestly, this plastic with the current would give it exactly the flight that I would like have expected or desired from it, or maybe an out-of-the-box flight similar to the blue one that I have that is a little beat in. Not sure if colors make that much of a difference. Most companies, they do a little bit. But that being said, hole 8 here, we're going to that red basket, which is 411 up a hill. Cannot. All right, well, that's basically a re-tee. I just did not turn that at all. We'll try with this one. It's gonna be some disc in the giveaway. That was a pretty bad shot. Sorry you had to see that. Much better. See, that with the pink one I think is so good. Not a bad shot. Got a putt for bogey. Got to bring out the stepper. And then hopefully we can ace the last hole. The line is good. The putt is bad. Double bad. These doves are probably mocking me up there. All the way back to even. So right now there's 3 discs getting into the giveaway. That being said, we're going Tundra first. Try to just throw it in, and then I'll try to ace run it with all the Meridian discs. Oh no. What a shank. How are you gonna shank it on a 185-foot hole? Left myself a circle 2. You know, I did it for you guys. I'm just a nice guy today. All right, let's try to make some of these. Current on a forehand. Oh. That could do it. Get left, right. Swing that up. Oh, phase through. In a classic twist of events. Didn't even get any medal. One of these days I'll ace something when I say I'm gonna ace it. No, today's not the day though. We'll put some of the coolest ones in the giveaway. However, taking this ravine back if I can make this putt. That being said, I'm pretty impressed with these discs from Meridian. All are consistent. They feel good. There's no flashing. The edges feel very comfortable. I was just a little surprised at how little they glided today. My watch says 30 degrees right now. So I'm sure if it's a little warmer, they might glide a little more. Not impressed with my play. I am impressed with the discs. Hopefully I can finally drain a circle 2 putt. Yes! Finally made one, jeez. Still can't make 2 putts in a row. And apparently I can't make it with the Tundra, but that thing looks sick. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Meridian, for sending these out. If they have them on Infinite, I'll leave them linked down below. Subscribe if you'd like, and I will probably see you guys tomorrow. Peace.